Yeah, very good evening, all of you. In today's session, we will discuss about an very important concept is going to be super global variables. Yeah. First of all, I want to give you one clarity. What is a variable? You know very well. Yeah. What is a variable generally? So let us come here. Later we will go for what is a super global variable. First, let us talk about a variable. Whatever the variable it may be, the purpose is here what? Saving data. This is going to be saving the data. Why we will save the data? Wherever you want to reuse, we will save the data. That is what variable. Generally, as of now, you may heard about two types of variables. One is a local variable, right? Other one is going to be global variable. This is in every programming language. We heard about these two. You go to Java.net, JavaScript, or anywhere you go, we have a concept called local variable. We have a concept called global variable. So what is a local variable? Whatever it may be, saving data. Variable, the local, global, super global, it is always used for saving data, right? That may be array variable, that may be some other and some other variable means saving data. That is local variable, global variable, super global variable, whatever it is, right? Yeah. What is a local variable generally? Write the point. The variables which are declared inside a function are called local variables. That means what? You can declare a function welcome. In this welcome function, I'm just having one variable $x is equal to 100, $y is equal to 200. What are the variable x and y? Here x and y variables are what? Here $x and $y are called as local variables. Why that is called as a local variable? Because they declared inside a function. And what is the scope of a local variable? Scope means what? Availability. If you declared a variable as local, that scope of the availability of the variable is available within that function only. Can we access the local variable outside of a function? Is it possible? No way. That's why that is called local variable. The scope of a local variable is local variable is within the function only, within the function function only. We cannot access outside. Right, that's what exactly local variable. What is a global variable? Obviously, if declared inside a function, local variable. If you declared a variable within a file, not in the function, then if you declared with something called within a file, then that is going to be global variable. Let us write the point. The variables which are declared inside a file are called global variables. Simply, I'm calling this a global variable. What is the meaning of a global variable? Ante, remember, the scope of a global variable is available within the entire file. Wherever you want, you can access it. The scope of a global variable is available available within the I think I forget, within the entire file, within the entire file. That means what? If you declare a variable on top of the file, that we can access wherever you want, however you want, whenever you want, within the file. Wherever you want, however you want, we can access it. That is called what? Global variable. So if you declare a variable on top of the page somewhere, that variable we can access wherever we want in the application. Local means within the function, global means within the file. Now you tell me, what is a super global variable? Imagine, what is a super global variable? Yes, please. Can you guess it? What is a super global variable? What is a super global variable? Can you understand? Yeah, I'm telling you. Try to watch it carefully. So if you declared a variable within the function, local variable, if you declared within a file, that is going to be global variable, right? That is going to be global variable. Within a file, global variable. Within the function, local variable. Remember, generally, tell me please, I want to ask you one thing. If you declared a variable in one file, can we access the variable in another file? If you declared a variable in one file, for example, I'm writing like this only, file1.php. In this file, you declared a variable $x is equal to 100, something like this I'm writing only, okay, some value. So I have one more file2.php. In this file2.php, can I access the variable $x? That means what? If you declared a variable in one file, can we access that variable in another file? Is available? Yeah. If you want to access the variable which is declared in one file, you want to access the same in another file. Sometimes what happen ante, if I declared one variable, that variable is required to access in each and every file. Each and every file. And for example, you are logging to application. You are logged into application. When you logged into the application, after that you will go to dashboard now. So in login.php, you will enter your username and password. After that, you will go to dashboard. From dashboard, you are going to some other page. From the dashboard, some other page to some other page, you are going, right? But what is your entry point? Login.php. How can I carry the information of login.php to all other files after login, whatever you are visiting? For example, after logged in, you are visiting change password, profile page, upload avatar. So you want to edit your profile. Such a pages you are visiting. When can you see those pages? If you can logged in only, we can see your profile information, logged out, and all the information we can see. Remember, what is a super global variable? If you can ask me, the variables which are declared in one file, we can access in the entire project. Within a function, local. Within a file, global. Within the entire project, if you want to access something, that is called super global variable. That means what? If we can declare a variable in one file, if you want to access throughout the entire project, then that is called super global variable. That means what? These variables, let us write a point here. These variables are available within the entire project. I won't write the word like this, entire, entire project. Yes. The variables which are declared in one file, the variables which we declared in one file, we can access them in another file also. Another file, that is called super global variable. Generally, other programming languages also there is a concept, but they won't call it as a super global variable. They have their own concepts actually. But in our PHP, you will call it as a super global variable. That means what? If you have data in one file, how can we access the variable in some other file? Simply says that is going to be called super global variables. Remember, one point I'm telling you in PHP, keep it in mind, all of you. All the super global variables are predefined, so that you don't need to define anything. All are predefined. All super global variables are predefined. Next point. All super global variables are array data type. All super global variables are array data type. All are going to be array data type. That's all. So now you see, let us write the list of super global variable and let me write one by one. All of you try to see. Please observe this carefully. Am I doing any mistake? You have to check it. How do we know, sir? Am I doing mistake or not? Yeah, you observe. By observing this, you may get some clarity, right? Yeah. Let's write one variable $globals, GLOBALS globals. And one more thing, Andy. All super globals are in capital letters. They're all in capital letters. So don't write in small letters. Otherwise, that is going to be an error. Super globals, they are arrays, and I told you, right? All super global variables are array data type. That means what? At the end of it, you can use a square bracket. Even if you didn't use square bracket, no problem. Okay, you can write simply like this, or else you write a square bracket also, empty square bracket also, no problem. Some people will write with empty, some people directly will write globals. Okay, now right, second one. So either something, you even if you can write like this also, no problem, all of you. So $globals, a square bracket also, anyone is valid. But don't worry, when you are using, how to use it, I will tell you. When you are using, always you have to use with $globals only. Sometimes without this also we can use it, no problem, right? So keep it in mind, with square bracket, without square bracket also we can write them. Next one is going to be $get, right? Square bracket I'm writing. No need to worry about it. However you want, you can write it. $_post. Observe this carefully. The fourth one, $_request. The fifth one, $_server. The sixth one, very, very important, is going to be cookie. Yep. The seventh one is going to be $_session, SESSION session. Yep. So the final one is going to be $_files. Yeah, this is going to be the 8 super global variables which are going to discuss. All are predefined. All the variables are predefined. So by using these variables, we can work with entire PHP. In entire PHP application development, I'm telling you how big the application, it may be a small application or big application. Remember, without these 8 variables, there is no PHP and there is no PHP application development. In core PHP, in the PHP, if you want to create any applications, definitely we have to use these 8 variables. Without this, there is no application development. So is there anything wrong? Nothing wrong. All are predefined. Sir, $_files, I forget to add two. Why I added 2 square bracket? I forget. No, that is predefined. You have to write with 2 square brackets only. And remaining all are 1 square bracket. And the first one, $_ is not there. Only $globals only how to write it. And remaining is going to be get underscore post request, and everything will be done. Remember, in this entire thing, what is important, what is not important, nothing is there, and everything is such an important thing. Everything is important. Every variable will do one job. You remember, this will do one job. These 3 variables, you see, 2, 3, 4 variables are used for doing one job. The 5th variable purpose is 1, and the 6th and 7th variables are purpose of the is going to be 1, and the 8th variable purpose is 1. So especially this 8th variable, when we want to work with file uploading concept, single file uploading, multiple file uploading you want to do, without this variable, you cannot do anything. This is for special designed variable for working with the file uploads. Earlier, last session, I believe we seen file downloading. This is not downloading, this is file uploading concept. If you want to upload a file, and how to collect the uploaded file information by using this variable, right? So these are for state management. What is the state management? What is a session and cookie? Everybody will tell you what is a session, what is a cookie, and how to work with session, how to work with cookie. But they don't know why they are working with session, why they are working with the cookies. Do you know? Anybody? Many of the people will say cookie and session. What is a session? What is a cookie? They're very good. So in interviews also they will say how to work with session and cookie. Very nice. But they don't know why they are using session and cookie. What is the necessity of using session and cookie? We will discuss. Don't worry about it. We will discuss about the clear picture of this session and cookie. Why session and cookie? You ask anybody who works in real time, including 10-15 years experience guys also, you ask them, maybe very less people will answer about the session and the cookie. Definitely we will tell you what is the purpose of session and cookie. See, this is session cookie concept not only in PHP. You go to Java, .NET, Python, wherever you go, there is a concept called session and cookie. Why we are using session and cookie? For the same reason, for the same cause, Java, .NET people are also using session and cookie concept. But they don't know why they're using session and cookie. But we have to tell you, right? Yeah. So, okay, guys, these are the super global variables. Let us discuss one by one. Okay. Let me save this file also, right? This is very important. Entire session. My sincere request to everybody, if possible, don't miss these sessions. Daily try to attend the sessions. After going home, you can watch the video. But my sincere request, so you try to attend the sessions. Better than watching video, better than attend the session. So why? Because I know the importance of these variables, and one of the important concepts in entire PHP. This is, if you have a good command on these variables, really you can do very well in PHP. But most of the people doesn't know when to use these variables, how to use these variables. That's the biggest problem. We will discuss this entire week, and complete week is about the super global variables only. The entire thing is going to be about super global variables only. We will go in such a way. Okay. Right, let's continue the same. The first variable is going to be dollar globals. Yeah, let's go for dollar globals. The first variable that we need to discuss. Yeah, let us write a point here. By using this variable, we can access the global variables into a function. What is the meaning of it? Generally, if you declare a variable inside a function, that is going to be called local variable. But I have a variable outside. Can I access the variable inside a function? Yeah, let's go and check this now. So by seeing this, you may get a clarity. Let's create a new file. Let me save the file. So I'm just going to save this global.php. Take any name to this, no problem. Yeah, guys, try to see. You have a variable x is equal to 100. You have a variable $y equal to 200. So these are the variables which are declared in a file. So that these variables are called what? Global variables. Now I am writing a function, fun driven function. This function is going to be some welcome or some add or whatever it may be, add something like this I'm taking. So this is an add function. Inside this add function, I want to sum these two numbers. How can we access those two numbers? You see now, I'm taking let y, I'm writing let here, $x is equal to 300, $y equal to 400, something I'm writing. And finally, $z is equal to $x plus $y. I'm writing $x plus $y. I'm writing. Yeah, echo $z. Simply, I'm writing this. Can you tell me if I can call the function is going to be executed, and what is the output? I'm writing add function I'm calling. You go to the browser, execute the file global.php. You tell me, please. 8 p.m. March. And what is the file name? Global.php. Global.php. Yeah, I'm running the file. What is the output you're getting? 700 you are getting. Okay, 700 you are getting, because local variable is the first priority. So the variables you are having, they taken 700 we are getting. I removed them. If I remove them, and do we have variable x and y? Yes, I have. Where they are? They are outside the function. Earlier, we have inside the function, and we got the output called 700. That's okay, fine. Now there is no variable x and y inside the function. If I refresh the page, can you see what is the output of the program? Yep, you see. Can you read the error message? It is simply saying that undefined variable x, undefined variable y. That means what? You didn't define the variable x and y on line number 11. You are using them. In line number 11, we are getting the error like this. Am I defined the variables x and y? Yes, I defined. But why are you getting like this? Remember, these variables we cannot access into a function directly. It is not possible in PHP. If you want to access these variables inside a PHP, we have to use dollar globals. All of you try to see. Meeku inka doubt unte, you do like this also. All of you try to see. In the function, because it's an array na, print underscore r of, you simply $globals globals. Just print this and you check this carefully now. So in the function, it is going to give you the values like this. You see, all these are going to be what? Get, and you have post, you have cookie, you have files. All are the part of global variable. And one more thing, you people see this now, x is and y also available in the global variables of the PHP. So what I need to do, guys, here, so you don't worry, to sum these values, what you will do, simply $z is equal to, you write like this, $globals of x. You have to write like this. It's an associative array. One more thing I forget, Andy. All super global variables are associative arrays. Anni kuda associative arrays andi. All super global variables are associative arrays. ASSOCIATIVE. All are associative array. There is no indexed array, Andy. There is no indexed array. 0, 1, 2, 3 will never be there. Everything will be look like a key value pair combination. All the super global variables. So how do we access this here? Globals of x plus $globals, GLOBALS, globals of y. You have to access the information like this. Yep. Now you print the variable z. You try to check it now whether it is working or not. Earlier, we got undefined variable something. Yeah, you see, I got output called 300. In interview, there is a question, Andy. How can we access the global variables of a file into a function? How can we access global variables of a file into a function? This is the answer. So write the question as well here. How can we access the global variables of a file into a function? Into a function, what is your answer? $globals is the answer. You have to say like this. By using $globals variable. This is for inside the file only, not a super global it work like. This is simply work like a globals. Okay, right. So next one is going to be get, post, request only. So we have to discuss about these three variables. All these three variables purpose is going to be almost all look like same, but the context is different. When to use get, when to use post, that we need to check them, guys. Okay, right. Let us go and check this now. How we will work with them. Okay, right. Let us see this carefully now. Yep. For this, to explain this get and post and request, I want to create a small form with the 2-3 fields like username, email, mobile, password, such a thing. I'm going to create a small form. So now onwards, you should know HTML a little bit. Okay, so let's create a small HTML form, guys, here. So HTML tag open, HTML tag close. Only HTML I'm creating. I'm not doing anything. Save this file. And the file is going to be some register.html or contact.html, whatever it is going to be, simple file you can create, contact.html. This is not PHP. I'm creating .html file. Remember carefully, I'm creating .html file only. In this HTML file, just I will create a small form. Okay, let's go for the form. This is going to be head tag open, head tag close. This is going to be the title open, title close, title, title open, title close. This is going to be contact form. Simply I'm writing contact form. Go to the body open, body close. If you know CSS, you can design it step by step. Create the form first. Okay, right. So this is going to be a div. If you know CSS, you design the CSS. Otherwise, leave it. Div class is equal to container, container, container. So if we can take a div, I am writing class equal to, okay, something. There is a label open, label close. Do you know Bootstrap, guys, here? If you know Bootstrap, you can apply the Bootstrap also. Here, designing is not the major thing. Functionality is important. Don't worry about the design, sir. I don't know design, sir. I don't know HTML. It's not the matter here. So concentrate on the functionality. Once you enter the data in the form, how you will collect the form data, how you will send the data to server. That's what we are going to see now. For that, I'm preparing a small form. Okay, let me create a small form. This is going to be username. Let's have a field like this. So input type equal to, this is going to be something called text, and name is equal to, name is must and should be required only for every text box. There is a class. If you want, you can take the class also for designing purpose. Okay, if you know designing, you can design it. Every text box should have name attribute. But if you don't know form basics, I already discussed in HTML videos. Try to watch. Maybe in HTML you may see 10 videos. The 10 videos, a 6th video or 7th video is about HTML forms and form basics. There may be 2-3 sessions maybe there in the form basics. Try to watch that video immediately after this session completed. If you don't know, if you know, that's good, right? It's okay, right? So now you go to this username. This is going to be an email. This is going to be an email. Fine. So I'm taking like this. This is going to be password. That's all. Input type equal to password. Simply I'm writing password, and name should be different. Password. Yep. And there should be a submit button. All of you try to see. I'm taking, this is going to be submit button, label does not required. Input type is going to be submit, SUBMIT submit. I'm writing, this is simply going to be value is equal to save or register. Yeah, you write simply called register or create account. And this class is not required here. You want to take a BTN primary like this, you take it. This is actually Bootstrap classes I usually here. Just the classes. What is a container class? And what is this class? What is this class? What is this class? Nothing. What I will do, if you know design, you can write the design. So if you don't know, go with the simply Bootstrap. I'm writing this Bootstrap CDN. Bootstrap. Yep. Let's go for Bootstrap CDN. I hope you all know Bootstrap. Okay, now are you guys? So I hope you all know Bootstrap. Can I use Bootstrap for designing forms now onwards? If you don't know Bootstrap, you can write our own CSS also. All of you agree with it? If you know Bootstrap, we can continue in our project also. We will use Bootstrap only. Admin panel integration, everything we will download the Bootstrap templates only in PHP, and we will do the same. So I'm concluding that we are going to use Bootstrap for designing purpose. Okay, right. Thank you then. If you don't know, try to watch Bootstrap videos also there in our drive, which I shared you already with you. So you check that drive link also. Okay. Right, this is the CDN link. I'm just going to copy this CSS file only CSS file. I don't want all this stuff. And now go to the file, just add this in our headset. First, you see the preview and you check this without adding CSS. Yeah, this is the thing. Okay, now I'm adding the Bootstrap CDN link. Yeah, I added the CDN link, Bootstrap 5.3 I added. If you can refresh the page now, you see form is designed neatly like this. And it's not looks good. I want to have some classes MB3 margin bottom 3 and a margin bottom 3. Why? Because every text box looks like attached together. That's the reason I'm providing the class called MB3 something like this. Sorry, MB3. Yeah, you can have a heading also. Let's take one H1 tag open, register here, something like this. Simple form we are creating. So we are not such a good designers maybe, but we are very good in copy paste. Yeah, I'm done with my form. Right, guys. What is this file, guys? This file is generally HTML file. This file is going to be an HTML file. Generally, how to run this file? Not like this. You have to run always http://localhost/ you have to run the file like this. Okay, this is too big a zoom, right? Okay, now this is normal zoom, right? There is a form. So guys, remember, once you entered some data in the form, you will submit it. After submitting this, where the data should go? You have to tell to the form. This is a HTML file. This HTML file doesn't know what is the purpose of HTML file. HTML file will always display a form to you. In the form, you will enter some data. After entering data, you are submitting the button. On submit, where to go? Where to send the data? What is our backend? Java, .NET, Python, PHP? We have to tell to it. How do we tell to this? Remember, we forget to add a form tag. I created a form. This is a useless form. Even if you can submit this, is the data is posting anywhere? No, it's not going anywhere. You see, I'm typing something, I'm submitting. Are you going anywhere? No, I'm not going at all anywhere. I'm not at all going anywhere. This is simply getting like this. This is simply getting like this. This form is useless. Even if you submit, it is not going anywhere. Why? Because every form should be inside a form tag. Without form tag, you cannot create a form. Keep it in mind always. Any form now onwards you are going to create, that should be inside the form tag. That is a basis. That is a basic of the form. Every form should be inside the form tag. Yeah. Now all the form fields should be inside the form. Now you try to see, you enter some data, you submit this, you on submit, you see page is refreshing. Loading means form is submitted. That means what? Form is submitted. But you tell me where the data is going. I didn't understand, Andy. You're submitting, but something went wrong. I don't know, but page is refreshing, right? Yeah, you see again. What is the URL? All of you check this carefully. Current URL is what? 8 p.m. March contact.html. Let me copy the URL. Okay, try to watch the URL carefully. This is the URL before submission. Now enter some data, test, and you take mail ID, some password 123. If you can submit, can you watch the URL? Now you see what is the URL before submission, after submission. Can you check this now? So what happens, sir? Up to here, that is the URL. The above and below, the same URL. But after submitting, you see username is the name of the text box is equal to the value you entered in the text box. Email is the value, name of the text box, and this is the value you entered in the text box. And password is the name of the text box. You see, that's why I'm telling you, every text box should have a name attribute, name attribute, name attribute. Without name attribute, you cannot process anything. Definitely there should be a name. But where the data went, you see, okay, that's good, sir. My data was appended in URL. That's well and good. But you see, data before this, before submitting form, contacted HTML URL. After submitting this, where the data was posted? Data was posted to same page, contact.html. But tell me, a .html file can insert the data into database. But if you are posting the data to same page, what is the purpose of it? Can .html file insert the data into database? It is highly impossible. Then by posting this to same page, what is the purpose of it? What is the use of it? In this context, you have to tell to the form on submit where you have to go. So how do you tell to the form? By using action attribute, because this action will tell you where to go. Now I'm writing this something called some save.php. Okay, you don't worry about it. I'm just mentioning save.php. Okay, so now you go back, all of you go back to the form. This is your form. Now you submit. Before submitting, see the URL contact.html. Now you entered some data. I'm entering some data, password 123. If you can submit, where are you going? Can you see? You went to save.php, and unfortunately, the save.php is not created yet. That doesn't created, right? But you see, a .php file can able to insert the data. But what is the purpose of sending data to the same page? .html can insert the data? No way. Then always the data should be sent to a server, save.php, save.java, save.aspx, save.python. Like this, you have to send it, Andy. So now in PHP, they will read this data from the URL and they will insert the data into database. That's what the duty. A PHP can able to collect the form data. A PHP can able to insert the data into database as well, guys, here. So that it is very important thing. You have to remember, HTML will never insert the data. Always a PHP can able to insert the data. Right? Yes. So why we are getting not found here? Because this page is not created at save.php is not at all created. So now you guys can go and check this now, guys. Here, try to see. I am going to create a new file with the name called save.php. Let me save the file. Save.php is a file created. So in this file, how can we get the form data? That's very important thing. Remember carefully, in HTML, you are entering data. This is a different file. Contact.html is a different file. In this, you are entering some data. Whatever the data you enter, how to collect the data in the save.php. You submit this now. You went to save.php now. I entered data. Where is the data entered? All the data which I entered appended in URL. That is a username I entered, email I entered, password I entered. All the data was appended in URL. Very nice. Data was appended in URL. But question is here what? Data was posted to save.php, sir. That's well and good. But how can we read the posted data? Where is the posted data? If you can enter something in the form on submit, the data was posted to save.php appending through URL. The data was posted to save.php via through URL. Then how can we read the URL data? How can we read the URL data? That's what the question we need to see. All of you check this carefully now. How you will do this, right? We have the first variable. What is the variable called here? $get at the point. This variable will help you, right? So let us go and write the point here. Write the point. By using this variable, super global variable, by using this variable, we can read the we can read the data from a URL which is appended in a query string format, FORMAT, query string format. Now the question, what is a query string format? So what is the variable can do? This variable can collect the form data, which is, we can read the data from a URL. Don't write the form data. We can read data from a URL. That's all, which is appended in the query, which is appended in a query string format. What is a query string format? Now we will see it. Now you see query string. What is a query string? Interview question, and this is query string. A query string always appended in URL. Let's write some point here. A query string always appended in a URL. Appended in a URL. A query string starts with a question mark. A query string starts with question mark in URL. You see, in the URL, do you have anywhere question mark? From here, you check this. Now you see there is a question mark. After the question mark, remaining everything is called as a query string pattern. That is called what? Query string pattern. After the question mark, the remaining pattern, is called as query string pattern. This is called query string pattern only, right? So in the URL, after the question mark, the remaining pattern after the question mark, from the question mark remaining pattern is called query string pattern. Query string is a key and value pair combination. Can you see? You copy this entire thing. This is going to be the thing. Query string is a combination of key and value. See, question mark after, you see there is a key and symbol separated, and you see this is going to be like this now. That's why is everything. You won't write one more, you can write your own also. And you write something called city is equal to HYD also, we can write it. Whatever you want, you can write like this also. Or we can write our own patterns also, we can write, no problem. What is this is called? Query string pattern. If you can see the data like this, question mark after key equal to value, and key equal to value, and key equal to value, and this pattern is called query string pattern. What is a query string pattern can do, you know? By using query string pattern, remember this, by using query string, we can transfer the data from one page to another page, and one page to another page. You see, a very important point, remember carefully. You, from where this data is coming to you, this data is coming to from HTML file, right? That is one page. And where this is transferring to some other page called save.php. Remember carefully, this is very important thing. So we have some file like this, contact.html. From here, the data was transferred to save.php. So the data which you entered in one page, that is transferred to here and in the form of query string format. That's why. So this is very important thing. Transferring data from one page to another page in any context. That may be a form data. There may be a no form. Without form also we can transfer the data. How can we transfer the data without form? That we will see later. But right now you try to see. We created a form. We entered some data. On submit, data was transferred to save.php by appending in URL. How? In the appending in URL in the form of query string format. What is a query string format? It's a key and value pair combination. Simply says, by using this pattern, we can transfer the data from one page to another page, right? So each and everything look like a pair. Query string is a combination of, final point I'm writing, a query string is the combination of key and value pair combination. Simply write it, key and value pair combination. It's a combination of key and value pair combination. A query string is the combination of key and value pair combination. Simply say Sandesh. This is what exactly query string pattern. Okay. Now tell me please. So you go to save.php, you use the variable, don't write anything, print underscore r of, it's an array na, dollar underscore get, you simply use the variable because it's an array, right? It's just I want to use the pre tag also for making the output structured way. That's why I'm just writing like this. Now you just go and check this. Now I'm going back, I'm going to refresh the page. You try to see, enter some data. Yep, I'm entering some data, 1 2 3. You submit the page. On submit the page, you see the data. That's why I told you all the super global variables are associative arrays, right? You see, this is the name of the text box, this is the value of the text box, this is the name of the text box, value of the text box, name of the text box, value of the text box. You see, what are the values you are having? Username is going to be act as a key, and this is going to, the test is act as a value. You see, email is going to be key, and this is going to be, the remaining is going to be the value. And the password is going to be, this is the password, and the keys are always going to be act as the keys, and in the query string format, the keys are always act as the associative array keys. This is a key and this is a value, right? Key value pair combination. It will be work like this. You want, you can write your own key also, and city is equal to HYD. You write like this also, hit enter, the value also will come to you. Okay, we can pass our own values, we can pass form data also. But whatever, if you have such a kind of a format with the key value pair combination, everything will be readed by the $get super global variable. Okay, this is get. You want to get this data individually, then you get this $name is equal to $_get inside. You just pass the username. This is the name of the key, na? So individual. So earlier we printed the whole array. So $email is equal to $_get of name of the text box is going to be email. That's why remember, every text box should have a name. Without a text box name, you cannot do anything. This is the basic of HTML. When you are creating a form in HTML, keep it in mind, the form should have name attribute. Without name attribute, we cannot do anything. Okay, now the password. $PASS is equal to $_get of password. This is going to be password. Like this we are having. Now you guys refresh the page now. You see, oh, sorry, we didn't print it, right? So you can print this echo $name, comma, $email, comma, $pass. We can print all the values with a comma separated using echo only. This is also valid. So now you check this, all the values which are there in the values only, not the keys. You want to get the keys? Yeah, you take this array. If you can take this array, we can get the key and value pair combination. You can write for each loop, for loop also, because anyhow, this is an associative array now. How do we iterate associative array values? You know very well. So if you want to do this, what do you do? For each, we know that for each inside $_get as $item or anything, you take any variable here. Now you see echo $item. What are you going to get here now? You are going to get the each and every item. So this is one way. Now this is also one way of printing data. You want to get the keys also? Yeah, you write this is going to be key as $val, something like that. Also, you take it now. So however you want, you can take it. This is going to be $val. Now you check this. This is going to be all the vals. You want to print the key. Now you see all the keys are printed in the associative array. So this is the way of reading the data, which is appended in URL. You want to read individually? Yeah, you do like this. You want to print the whole array? You will do like this. No, you want to iterate all the data which is appended in URL? You do like this. But mostly in real time, you will do like this only. Why will do like this? We will tell you later. Why we will go like this? We will tell you later. Now, after reading the data from the URL, what you have to do, guys, immediately you will connect to DB. You will connect to database. And after that, next step is going to be insert the data into table. That's all. Insert the data into table. Insert the data into table. Right now, we don't know database connection. We don't know insert query, nothing. So we just need to know how to collect the form data. That's all. This is enough right now, right? So we are able to see the form data. So whatever the data we entered in the form, if we can submit, it is posted to same page. This is the, it is posted to save.php. We are able to collect the data. This is good to see. So this is going to be what? Query string parameter, right? Query string parameter is nothing but, so generally query string people will call query string parameters. What are the query string parameters? And username, email, password, city are called as query string parameters. And the values test, ram, 1, 2, 3, 4 are the values of the query string parameters. Something, and different people may term it different ways. That's why I'm telling you the possibility, right? Okay. And here, sir, I have one big question here. Why my data is appended in URL? Why my data is appended in URL? So without appending data in URL, can't I transfer the data to save.php? And one more thing. See, my form is dealing with sensitive information like my username, my email ID, my password. Do you know what is my password? Right now, you don't know what is my password. But on click the submit button, you are able to see the password. You see what is the password we are able to see? 123321 is the password. But if that is a sensitive information, Why you are showcasing on the URL address bar? You know one thing, Andy, you just control H to see the history of the browser. You see, in the history, browser history, I'm able to see my password, right? Every time, what is the password I entered? See, sometimes the browser history may hack by hackers also in your system. They will hack the browser Sunday browser law without knowing your intention. They will install some some malware, some extension they will install. We don't know. They will collect our information. It is collecting the browser history also. But if that is a sensitive kind of information, how can we send the data through URL? This is not correct way. This is not recommended way. How do we do this? Right? So why data is appending in URL? First question, right? So let's write one question. Why form data is appended appended in URL in a query string format. In a query string format. My question is this is Andy. Format. Okay, na? Format. Remember, by default, form method is get. What is the form method is get. Because of get method, because of the get method, the form data will always transfer to some other location by appending in URL. By appending in URL only. There is no other solution. And what is the default method of the form? Default method of HTML form. By default form method is going to be HTML form method is what? Get. Because of the get method, the form data will always transfer to some other page, some other location by appending in URL only. That's why. So can't we change the form method? Yeah, you can change it. So why not? Yeah, you go there. And for this form, we have an attribute. If you are not providing any attribute, default is going to be what? Get method. So method is going to be, you have to add like this. Method is going to be either get. Even if you can add get, what happened? Data will append in URL. So what you have to do? You have to append the post method like this, Andy. Right, let's write the conclusion point here. If we want to transfer the form data securely, if we want to transfer the form data securely from one location to another location, if we want to transfer the form data securely from one location to other location, we can use post method. We can use post method only, right? So then always remember note point, very important note point. If your form is handling with the sensitive information, secured information, if your form, all of you keep it in mind, if your form is handling with sensitive data, if your form is handling with sensitive data or secured data, whatever it is, secured data, use post method always. Use post method always, because it will never appends the data in URL. Never appends the data in URL. It will transfer the form data to protocol body. It will transfers the form data through protocol body. Through protocol body. Protocol body. That's the meaning, Andy. That's what exactly. Right. So tell me, please. Now you people answer. Who can transfer the form data from one page to another page? One page to another page. Can you tell me your answer? Chat window lo type చేయండి. I want to see your answers. Who can transfer the form data from one page to another page? Are you there in the session? If you're there in the session, right, tell me your answer. So who can transfer the form data from one page to another page? In the browser, we are executing. Browser is not transferring. In the browser only, right? If there is a browser, then only we can access the web pages. But transferring data from one page to another page, who can do this? Okay, who is this WNN002015? Somebody is answering. So who is that? Deblan. Something is there. Your name? Your answer is correct, Abba. So who is that? 990022201015. You joined through mobile, huh? Okay, no problem. Whoever it is, his answer is correct and HTTP. HTTP. That is what? HTTP protocol. HTTP protocol. But I want to tell you one thing. Remember carefully. Whatever the data you entered in the form, where to go? Save.php. Who will collect the form data? Method and D. Method will always collect the form data which is entered in the form. On submit. This method will collect the form data. It will transfer to save.php. It will transfer the data to save.php. Now tell me, who can transfer the form data from one page to another page? You understand my point here? What I'm telling you, sir, whatever the form data you entered in the form, on submit the button, this method post will collect the form data. It will transfer the data to save.php. Right? Now your answers I required. Who can post the form data? Who can transfer the form data from one page to another page? What's the answer? Method. Okay, which method? Either get a post a, both a. Get a post a or both. There is no put method. Put method purpose is different, Yusuf. We will tell you when we are discussing APIs. I will tell you put to, patch to, delete, right? Okay, post and get. Remember, your answer is going to be HTTP protocol only. HTTP protocol. You know, get and post methods are the part of HTTP protocol only. Who is the father of get method and post method? HTTP protocol. You know that? Yes. HTTP protocol is using get method to transfer the data. HTTP protocol may use post method to transfer the data, right? You see this carefully, guys, here. What I need to tell you guys here, you have this, right? Content.html, right? You see HTTP protocol's post method will send the data to save.php. Otherwise, if you can use get method, HTTP protocol will use get method. If HTTP protocol using get method, then what happening? Data appended in URL. So if you use post method, which is the part of protocol, that's why I written one point and a protocol body. You remember what I written there? You see, it will transfer the form data through protocol body. Get method is the post method is always transfer the data through protocol body. It cannot show the data to anybody. It can transfer the data securely. Let's go and check this now carefully. Now this is going to be post, right? Yeah. Now if it is a post thing, you remember. Now I'm going to check. You know what is the variable can do? This variable can read the data which is appended in URL. Yes, sir. All of you, let us go and check this one more time. This is going to be get. I'm keeping. I'm changing this to get. You go back to the form and you can enter some data. Yes, you entered some data. Let's enter some data here. Yep, entered data. Now you people see this now carefully. What is going to be happen, guys? If we can submit it, you see data is appended in URL and we are able to print the data also. Now I'm going to my form. In the form, what I'm going to do, let me change the method as going to be post method. All of you please try to see. I changed the form method to post method. If the form method is post, data will never appended in URL, right? Yes, let's go and check this. Try. I'm going to check this. I'm going to check this. 1, 2, 3 password. I'm submitting this. Can you see my URL? Can you see my URL? See the URL. Don't see on the screen. You may have errors. No need to worry about it. Try to see the URL. In the URL, do we have any data? we don't have any data. But line number 567, why are you having error on line number 567 in the save.php? Now you go and see this carefully. This is the file. Remember, what a get variable can do, sir. Get variable can read the data from the URL. But do we have any URL parameters to read the data right now? There is no data, right? There is no data to read the data from URL. So then in this context, you cannot use these things, guys. If the form method is post, then you cannot use get method. Why get method you have to use? If the data append in URL, then only you have to use get method. If there is no data in the get method URL, why you are using get variable? So you cannot use get variable. When you can use get variable, if data append in query string format in the URL, then you can use get variable. Right now it is not there. Then what I will do? In place of it, simply you write post. For the post method, post variable. For the get method, get variable. Simple thing, Andy. So this is what exactly post and something like this, guys. Okay, right. Yeah. So now you can try this now, and I'm going to go back to the form and I'm going to submit the form. Let's check this now. And you try to see there is no data appended in URL. Now you just go and check this now. I'm entering 1234 something. You will submit this now. If you can submit, you see, is there any data appended in URL? No data appended in URL, and we are able to read the form data. Right. So what I want to tell you, by using this post variable, we can read the form data specially. This variable is specially designed for reading form data. And this get variable is specially designed for what? Reading the data which is appended in URL. URL parameter data. I will ask the questions again, Andy. When we are working with MySQL database, I will ask the question, how can we read the data from which is appended in URL? Don't forget this. You have to say get variable. How can we read the form data which is posted by post method, right? So by using this, this variable, we can read the form data which is posted by post method, WHIC, which is posted by post method, HTML post method and post method. Remember, $_post is a variable. It's a variable, super global variable. What is this post and it's a method, HTML method. Remember, don't get confused here. So this post and get are the part of HTML, not the part of PHP. What are the PHP things? And the $get $post are the variables. They're not the form methods. Some people will confuse. Sir, $_post is a form method, or $get is a form method. No, they're not form method. They're the PHP super global variables. They're the variables, right? By using this post variable, we can read directly form data, which is posted by post method. If the form method is post, always you have to use what? Post variable only. If the form method is get, method is get here, you have to use always get variable. Why? Because get variable is fitted to read the URL parameters data. Okay, so we have one more thing, guys. Finally, request variable is there now. Okay, let us talk. It won't take much time. Try to see. This request variable is the combination of, see, what I have to tell you, $request variable is equal to $_get plus $_post. And that means what? And what you can do using get variable, what you can do is post variable, that is done by using request variable. This is not only this, I think we can read the cookie values also. Later we will talk about this cookie values also, right? So it is the combination of, what I want to tell you, one point I want to tell you, by using request variable, by using the request variable, what you can do by using request variable. 1 minute, guys, here. So by using the request variable, we can read the data from URL. 1 minute, guys, here, small thing. 1 minute. Oh. Yeah, sorry, guys. Yeah, by using this, by using the request variable, we can read the data from URL query string parameter, And we can also read the form data, which is posted by post method. We can also read the form data, which is posted by post method, posted by post method, method, METHOD post method. 1 minute, guys, here. Sorry, guys. Right, it's okay. What else we can do here? We can read the form data. We can read the data from URL query string parameters. We can also read the form data, which is posted by post method. We can also read cookies information. Cookies we will talk about later. Right now, just I'm writing the point. We can also read cookie information. Cookie information. This is a multi-purpose method, multi-purpose variable this is. That means what, whatever the form method, irrespective of your form method, in place of it, you can use request variable and right. So form method maybe get, maybe post. I don't bother about it. The method, you see, you have request, what is the thing we are having? You have post variable, post method, right? Inside, in place of it, you can simply write this. So you can keep this into comment. You write this in place of, you can directly write request also, but it should be in capital letter. Request, REQUEST request. This is also going to be REQUEST request. Request of password, request of something. Yep, you try to do the same. We don't have any problem. You will get the data irrespective of the form method, whatever method it may be. You will get the data, entered 1 2 3, and you submit this. You are able to see the data, right? Now you go to the form method and change the method to get method, and you try to see. This is going to be what? Get. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to do something. This is going to be something. Yep, you see now data is appended in URL. See, this is appended in URL. What request variable can do? Request variable can read the data which is appended in URL, which is posted by post method also. If you have any cookies, it can read the cookies information also. Right now there is no cookies in the site. That's why it is not going to show you any cookies. All right. Yeah. So this is what the three variables and request and post get, right? So mostly you can use anyone here. No one will question you. Why are you using this? Why are you using that? No one will question you. I will show you when I'm working with the forms, I will always use post variable with the post method in the form. My method is going to be always what? Post method. I don't want to take get method anytime, even though the form may contain sensitive data, may not contain unsensitive data. No problem. I will always use post method. No one will question you. Why are you using this? Why are you not using that? No one will ask you. But it's our responsibility to transfer the data securely, whatever it is, that is sensitive data, non-sensitive data. We have to transfer the data always securely to one location to other location. That way you will use post. And tomorrow I will show you. See, today we created 2 pages. So contact.html, save.php. How can we create the form in the same page? How to get the data in the same page? Same page. I don't want to create 2 pages and the contact.html, save.php like this. I don't want to create 2 pages. I want to create 1 page only. In that 1 page, I want to create the form. I want to collect the data. How can we submit the form within the same page? But this type of process we will never use in real time. Olden days law, everybody will use this type of approach. They will create a separate form. They will create a separate PHP file. They will do like this generally. But I will show you in the next session how to get the data in the same page, how to get the form data in the same page, as well as what is the difference between methods get and post. Methods get and post. What is the difference between methods HTML methods get and post? So this we will see you in the tomorrow session. Okay, right. So you try to practice up to here, and I will upload these files to Drive as well. Please go through them. And tomorrow we will discuss about server variable also. Server variable also we will discuss, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm stopping the session for the day. And if you have any queries, let us know.